We will walk you through all of these scenarios for the playoffs. 4 teams are still in play for home field advantage in the NFC entering Week 16. We'll hear from Aaron Rodgers on winning the NFC North. We finally get some clarity about playoff seeding. We know who the 6 is anyway. It took till the end of Week 16 to get there. But first, we begin, as we do nightly, with the best thing I saw today. Taco Monday!
Hey now!
Boston Pops being conducted by Taco Fall. This guy owns Boston. Coach Stevens put him in the other night. Everybody loves this guy. We've loved him since he was a freshman at UCF. 48 double extra, long tuxedo, and give him the spin. Taco, let him know.
Oh!
Yes, indeed. Conducting sleigh ride. One big thing on Christmas is coming in a bit. Taco. How can you not love the man? Take a bow indeed. Taco Fall, the best thing we saw this Monday. Best thing Packers fans saw was a trip into a building where I don't believe they've won. Skull chants got it going early. Santa getting ready. You sit on a throne of lies.
How many Santas were there tonight?
Probably many. Many. Aaron Rodgers all smiles beforehand. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. No Dalvin Cook. That would prove significant. Whole game playing chances for them without him. Here, what a play is made by Anthony Harris. That's the first interception Rodgers has thrown when targeting Devontae Adams in 267 attempts. Vikings take over on the 26th, but this was a key. In a game that featured a bunch of Packer miscues, could the Vikings take advantage? Well, early they couldn't. Here, yes. My guy Stanford Steve called that one, said they got Diggs single coverage, top of the screen, touchdown 10-3 Minnesota. It's a 10-6 game. Rodgers finds Jimmy Graham. And once again, the ball's out. But they pounce on it. Adams, 13 grabs in this one, does a great job staying in bounds. And the Packers down 10-6 with an opportunity to maybe grab the lead before the half. 7 seconds left. They had to call their last timeout to avoid getting a delay of game. And Adams a little bit behind, but as good as he is, he'll normally squeeze that one. Packers settle for a field goal. It's 10-9. Story of this game largely that man, 55, Zadarius Smith. He lived in the Vikings backfield. He finished with 3.5 sacks and 5 tackles for loss. Later in the drive, Vikings on the other side of midfield. They only had 7 first downs in this game, looking deep, looking for Diggs, and that ball is picked. Kevin King stays on his feet, and he gives the Packers plus field position. Defenses, I enjoy the fact that they now celebrate as a team. Celebrate with the squad. Aaron Jones might have been carrying some fantasy squads to the finish line with touchdowns in the second half. 17-10. They go for 2 and get it. That's the lead. Jones, again, gets wide. Booger made the point that there's always a good block by a wide receiver when there's a long touchdown run like this. And also Jones does the heavy lifting. 56 yards, the touchdown there. And that is the security blanket. Coach LaFleur, in his first year, helps to have that guy, helps to have a defense play the way they did. They win the North. So Green Bay takes the division. Their hope for a 1 seed very much alive. Ryan Clark on the significance that could play for them. Vikings lose. And if nothing else, we know that they clinch a seed. It's the last one, but better there than out. They're the 6th seed. They will travel either to New Orleans, Seattle, or Green Bay. Time now for the Ram Trucks post-game report. Lisa Salters with the winning quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron, again, it may not have been pretty at times, but at what point is winning ugly beautiful?
Winning is always beautiful. And defense wins NFC North championships.
Yeah, you told us before this game that this team really has defensive juice. They showed it tonight. Just what did you think about your defense played?
Well, they kept us in it. After the fumble on the first possession, held them to 3. We had 3 turnovers, and I think they only gave up, 10 off of those? That's pretty impressive. Big pick by Kev there in the return to set us up, and we put something together there in the second half.
The Vikings had just 7 first downs. Zadarius Smith had 3.5 sacks. Just what kind of juice does he bring just by himself?
a lot of juice. We got to get him to stop running down the field after a sack, though. But that's the energy that he has and brings to the locker room. He's a great teammate, hell of a player. Our defense really dominated tonight.
Big picture, though, you've now won the division, but you were telling us that the difference between being in the playoffs and being a team that can really make a run, you just need a tick more efficiency on the offense. How close are you, and how do you get there, Aaron?
Well, I think the run game was excellent tonight. We ran for 180 yards or so. Aaron was fantastic. You know, we got to find a way to win. They all count the same if you win. So, good one for us. Rest up this week. You know, a chance to play for something even bigger next week and make people have to come to Green Bay.
Thanks. Good luck the rest of the way, and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Back to you guys.
Seattle will be a playoff team. Marshawn Lynch will be a Seahawk. That news just becoming official. We'll talk a bit about that in a bit. We welcome in Booger McFarland. And Booger, we just hear from Aaron. And look, we know it's a fantasy football league. It's a quarterback league. But as you talked about at the tail end of this broadcast with Tess, man, that defense was nasty. I get that Dalvin Cook's out, and that changes Minnesota's offense significantly. But as we move towards January football, how significant a development would it be for the Packers' hopes if this defense plays like that?
Well, it's going to be very significant because the offense isn't where we're used to seeing Aaron Rodgers and the offense be. And he was a little off tonight, turnovers, uncharacteristics of an Aaron Rodgers offense. But when you have a defense, Mike Pettin, that he's got Zadarius Smith, Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, dare I say this defense can carry this team. And then all you need is Aaron Rodgers to make a drive or two, Scotty. And I think if they do that, especially when the weather changes and somebody's got to come to Green Bay, as I told Tess, they are going to be a tough out come January.
I've always felt like, and a lot of this has to do with the fact that as a guy who grew up a Redskin fan watching Cousins play, a lot of this record stuff in primetime games that gets laid at his feet has to do with playing on teams that had lousy defenses, and he gave them chances, just didn't work. In this game, though, where he, and you made a great point in the broadcast, he has to be the guy to make them win it. Where was his performance in this night where without Cook, he was going to have to step things up and they end up with 7 first downs?
Well, the offensive line was overmatched, number one, and I think we saw that early on. But nevertheless, when you have Thielen, you have Diggs, you have Rudolph Irv Smith Jr., you have weapons. And I think everyone around America was waiting. Are they going to open the offense up and allow Kirk Cousins to throw the football? And they just never could. And I think the narrative about a quarterback's win-loss record, to me, that's a silly stat because you win and lose as a team. But at some point, you want your quarterback to be the reason you win. And I think that's the biggest thing for Kirk Cousins. Has he ever or is he ever going to be the reason they win a game like tonight? And he had an opportunity. No Dalvin Cook. The run game wasn't going. And Green Bay dared Kirk Cousins to win this game, and he couldn't. And I think that's the narrative. Throw the record away. I don't care about the record. But the narrative, can you be the reason we win and not the reason that we continue to say, can you get it done? I think the Vikings got some soul searching to do tonight until they get Dalvin Cook back.
Booger, this draws to a close our conversations on Monday. I appreciate so much the energy and the passion you bring to this. My Christmas gift to you is to one last time give you the floor if you have anything at all you'd like to say about a college football team that may have a game coming up Saturday in Atlanta.
Well, Scotty, here's the thing I'll say. Everyone has doubted Coach O and done a lot of things around the season, but you have one night at 4 p.m. in Atlanta, and the Tigers get to take on Oklahoma. And I don't want to hear about Bob Stoops in the SEC because we know Bob Stoops in the Big 12 don't like the SEC. I don't want to hear about all that. I just want to see Lincoln Riley and Jalen Hurts in the Mercedes-Benz Dome against Coach O and may the best team win.
Because it don't matter what coach it is, Booger. It don't matter if it's Stoops, if it's Lincoln Riley. We want them all. Stack them together. You can bring them both. It does not matter.
I like it, Ryan. I'm subdued. Ryan is bringing the energy. That lets you know it's time to have a Merry Christmas, Scotty. Make sure you get some ham because my ham is already ready, Scotty. I told you I don't do turkey. I do ham. I'm going to have half the ham on the way back to Florida, and I'll get the other half when I get there tomorrow morning.
We're going ham. We're going ham for Christmas Eve. We're going turkey on Christmas night. So I got the best of both worlds, man. I appreciate you. Travel well, and until we talk again next time, you stay good, all right?
Will do. Take it easy, Ryan.
Yes, sir, man. Merry Christmas, my boy.
Yes, sir.
A little more on this victory. Packers clinched the division for the first time since 2016 and the 6th time since Aaron Rodgers became the starting quarterback in 2008. That's the most among NFC teams over that span. Green Bay, And I'm going to talk to Ryan about this here momentarily. Still alive for the #1 seed. If they beat Detroit and Seattle defends home field against San Francisco in Week 17, Green Bay will be atop the conference. One of their 2 Super Bowl titles since the merger came as a 1 seed. That was in '96 with Brett Favre. And for Rodgers, he's now won on the bright lights of Monday Night Football. That staged 6 consecutive games dating back over the last 5 seasons. It was his 3rd win as a starter this season without tossing a touchdown pass, which is interesting. He never had more than 1 such game in any season prior to this 2019.